Is up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 52 of That's No Moon Pod. I really want to talk about episode 2 of season 2 of Loki. Dropped last week, and episode 3, as I'm recording this, drops tomorrow on Thursday. And from what I've been hearing, is that episode 3 is where it really starts to pop off. And I believe we're going to see Jonathan Majors, He Who Remains, or, just Kang, I guess. Whatever variants we're going to see of him finally. And I'm interested to see how it plays out. Um, all the allegations and things that Jonathan Majors was dealing with this past year. Um, I'm sure he had already shot most of his scenes, if not all of them, prior to all that going down. So I don't think there'll be anything too jarring when it comes to him. Uh, I just want to see the performances, see how it plays out on screen, because so far both episodes really landed for me. Um, Episode 2, the way it starts out, I like how it's just kind of has like that not Mission Impossible type deal. Kind of, I don't know if they were going for that vibe, but that's kind of what it felt like. Um, with the whole Ben being an actor and he's in this timeline, and it's kind of like how exactly and why did he come here? And I guess he knew right from the jump that what was going to happen in the end, and he'd rather just play out his life in this timeline being famous and an actor. And the guy playing him, I thought he was pretty funny. Or is it Ben or is it Brad? I think it's Brad. Um, the actor playing Brad, I thought he did a good job with his uh, comedic timing. Uh, just like the faces he makes, he has like that face, where you're just like this guy, right? Um, and that whole opening scene with them when uh, Mobius and Loki, they come at him, and then he's all acting like trying to play it cool, and then he takes off running. Tom Hiddleston, he gets that Tom Cruise, sprint down the alleyway scene. Uh, and you get to see some cool stuff from Loki this episode. He kind of uses his uh, intimidation and his magic, or just his overall abilities that we all know Loki can do, and he uses them to his advantage a lot in this episode. uh, the pacing of this episode was I really liked, because not a whole lot of action necessarily. The action didn't really come until the very end. Um, it was just more of kind of what's going on. Where's Sylvie? They're trying to find Sylvie, but we all know that she's chilling at a McDonald's, and they're basically just trying to get it out of Brad the whole time, interrogating him. Those scenes with them interrogating him with Loki and Mobius had both like comedic moments in it, but it was also, it gave all the actors in the scene like time to shine. Brad just kind of getting under both their skin, them trying to figure out what they got to do to get it out of him, because they know that he knows where Sylvie is. Um, I saw some people maybe kind of complaining about the humor, just kind of how Marvel tends to do with all of its shows and movies, and just Disney overall tends to have these kind of humor episodes or just more comedic moments, I guess. But to me, I thought everything was landing for the most part. I can't really think of a time where I wasn't engaged really in what anyone was saying, um, because I fully was. Um, Even all the serious moments, we get some funny scenes with Ouroboros and was it Randy? Um, they're kind of both like match made in heaven BFFs. Hopefully, we get some more funny scenes between them in the future because they're pretty much like the same kind of guy. um, and I liked all those moments. Hopefully, we for sure we got to get more OB. Um, but yeah, I still thought that even like towards the end, because this episode was actually a little bit longer than last week's, and once we get towards the end, uh, I did feel it kind of wrapped up a little too quick. Maybe we could have got at least an extra 6 minutes out of it, just made it a full hour at least. Um, but before I get to the end, like I was saying, the comedic timing, it all landed for me. But that's just all opinionated. That's on me. Uh, there's a lot of humor in Marvel that I don't really jive with. Um, some of it sometimes can for sure be over the top, but it is what it is. So far so good on this show for me though. Um, that funny scene when they're interrogating Brad and Mobius tells them the knock knock joke after like that whole tense moment between Brad and Loki where he's just kind of getting under Loki's skin and he tells him that knock knock joke and just kind of breaks the tension and the scene kind of gets a refresh and it starts over the set designs and you actually feel like you're in the TVA. You don't feel like you're in I don't know, just some kind of blue screen in the background or in the volume. Uh, Sometimes you could for sure tell it's obvious, but I think they're doing a good job blending everything in. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping the next episode is just as long as this one, because this one I think was just over 50 minutes, and the first episode was like 45 minutes or something. Um, but I guess once Loki and Mobius they figure out how to get it out of Brad, um, where Sylvie is, that whole scene where Loki's putting him in the cube thing and shrinking him and kind of just threatening to squeeze him like a grape. Um, I thought the whole scene was funny. It worked for me. That whole method that Loki and Mobius used to act like he locked him out and he didn't want him going crazy on him. Uh, and once we get to the whole McDonald's with Sylvie and we finally get the whole interaction, this was probably the only part of the episode that um, it didn't fully land with me, I guess. Because the main thing with Sylvie is okay, she's pissed, right? And they just found her. And during this whole time, Brad knows what's going to happen. if they stay here too long or anywhere regardless. Um, but the whole thing um, with Sylvie being mad and no one really like coming at her and saying, well, like, this is all kind of because of you, you know? So um, no one really called her out on it. And I don't know, they might eventually. I'm sure someone will probably say something in the next episode or maybe not. But if not, I'm gonna be like, well, go back and look at what happened in the end of season one. Um, it all probably could have been avoided. But nonetheless, while I was watching it in the moment, um, it didn't really bother me too much because I was just more interested in what exactly they're saying. Um, that was another funny scene with Brad and Mobius eating McDonald's at the table, and they're kind of feel like they're just kind of improvising, uh, just saying funny stuff while just sipping on milkshakes and whatnot. Um, and then once Brad starts freaking out, and then Sylvie checks out and sees what's gonna happen, and Docs is just blowing up all these timelines and killing countless amounts of lives. So then they get back, and this is where we finally get the action scene. It was really quick, but I thought they still did some cool, flashy moves. Each person got some time to shine. Um, and once it's all said and done, they stop them. Uh, but by then, so many people have already been, you know, terminated from the timeline. Uh, so it's obvious uh, the mood ain't so hot in the TVA because a lot of people are gone. And I guess Sylvie was still mad, and Loki was like trying to make her stay, but she wanted to just go back to McDonald's. Um, I don't know. She's mad, and she could have stopped this, you know. But still, even with the whole thing with the McDonald's ad, uh, we saw it in the trailer. If people complain about product placement, um, the McDonald's thing, it didn't really bother me at all. It was in a different time too. I like McDonald's. You know, I don't mind thinking about McDonald's. Um, yeah, and it was in the trailer too, so we knew that they were gonna be at McDonald's. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they had some kind of Loki sauce or toy promotion going on too recently. Um, but yeah, hopefully someone calls out Sylvie next episode because I'm stoked to see what we get because now the story really pops off. Um, and we're already halfway done, so things gotta things gotta really escalate, and I think that's kind of why the end of this episode kind of seemed a little rushed with the whole terminating of all these timelines. But I think they'll clean it up nicely in the next one. I'm excited. Uh, y'all, I've been streaming on Twitch gaming almost every night. Getting ready for the next Call of Duty to come out. I was playing the beta. I'm still posting comic books on Snapchat. You could read all these new releases that I buy and I read myself. I gotta take a look at the drops today, but I'll probably end up posting one tonight and then tomorrow and then the next day. And on my Snapchat at admiremymoonsault. You can read them, screenshot them. I got the variant covers on there as well. Go check them out if you're into comic books. Um, all the links to my socials will be in the description. Like always, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back talking about episode 3. But until then, y'all have a great rest of y'all's week. Y'all stay safe. And I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.